Amen. So we left off last time about the halakha that the bottom one wins, and we said because of that, whenever a hot milk goes on cold meat, guess what happens?
Oh.
The bottom one wins. Jonathan, what does it mean? That you only gotta do very good, peel off the piece of meat, klipa, but the milk entirely is kasher. The milk that you poured on top of it, entirely everything is kasher. אבל חלב רותח שנפל על בשר צונן, או בשר רותח שנפל לתוך חלב צונן, קולף הבשר ושאר הבשר מותר, והחלב מותר כולו. What about the milk? The hot milk that's spilled on top of the cold meat. What about the milk that was over there?
מותר.
Everything is mutar.
And the בשר, שכבה ראשונה מורידים?
Right? The upper shikva, very good, we take away. And the bottom one, and the milk, entirely it's allowed. Everything, inside and out.
What do you mean?
The milk, all of the milk.
The milk that's spilled on the meat?
The hot milk,
Yes.
palakas,
That,
spilled on top of the cold meat.
yes?
All you gotta do is to take a layer from the meat.
Okay.
What about the milk?
You could drink.
Mutar, kasher.
Why?
Why?
Residue.
The bottom one wins. Remember the rule we learned? The bottom one wins.
למה אתה מדגיש cold מיאסר?
Because if it would be hot, then everything will be asur.
both.
Both.
חלב and
Unless you have 60 times in the milk, times the meat, then the milk will be allowed.
The bottom one is meat.
נכון? And it was cold.
בהת אסיר
that
צריך
one.
הגלה?
Yeah?
אם זה היה חם אסיר צריך הגלה?
Yeah.
So Rabbi, the meat doesn't absorb the milk.
The meat absorbs, but only the surface. Only the klipa.
No,
The
milk.
reason why, because
The milk doesn't absorb the meat?
Yeah, the other
Oh,
way
you
around.
asked around? Other way
No,
around?
if you have meat, right? You have meat here. You spill milk on top of it. The meat is going to absorb the milk. It's not going to just sit on
Absorb,
top
the
of it.
Gemara says the bottom one wins.
So
Since the-
even if the milk goes into the meat, it's fine.
Yeah, because
If
not
the meat is
cooked.
cold,
Right,
if it's raw,
right. No, it could be cooked,
even if it's,
But
but
it's-
it's cold,
but it's cold.
even if it goes inside the meat, it's fine.
Right. All you gotta do is wash it off.
No, but you said take
After you remove the layer, in case as the milk went through it.
Or you
I
move
don't know how. But
one
let's say
layer
the
of the
milk
meat.
went through it,
What do
you
mean? It
just
has
have
pores,
to.
no?
That pores, halakha says only the one layer.
So you cut one layer from the meat.
Affects by that milk only the top layer. Come on. The collision area, the heat, the makav, the budarilon. That's wherever it's affecting it, a layer of it.
как на полу клал, you just clean it.
No, technically no. One layer you have to remove.
Нарезать надо.
Slice it away. Okay, continue. והחלב מותר כולו.
Можно сделать шоу. Если люди сидят, и сказать, сегодня мы вас будем учить халаха. Опс, ой, что снова? Раз.
בדיעבד or
This is everything
after the
בדיעבד.
fact?
Because you cannot play with the rules לכתחילה.
כושי איתי.
ברשות מוריי ורבותיי,
כמה?
ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהכל נהיה בדברו.
There's a new hat. You got a new hat?
Everything you realize.
I
You
also
called me
realized
today
that.
12 times.
Oh my god.
What happened to you 12 times? I don't know. I thought somebody had to ממש had to fly to Gan Eden and came back.
הייתי צריך שתבדקו משהו.
My phone was not next to me. I said, Eliyahu Moshe, 12 missed calls. Whoa.
No,
What
not
happened?
What happened this time?
It
Then I
was a
texted,
couple of
I figured
FaceTimes.
it out, it's fine.
Yeah, because I am before שקיעה.
12 times? Are you serious?
לפני שקיעה.
I called two times, twice.
לפני שקיעה, זה איסור
You
כרת.
scared me, I thought
איסור
something
כרת,
happened.
לפני שקיעה.
Don't give too much information, let's see.
איסור כרת.
Вот что значит
למה
make
שאלתי אם
yourself
זה
a
כובע
rabbi.
למה שאלתי אם זה כובע חדש? כי ראיתי כמה וידאו של רב ינוקה.
יפה, יפה. עכשיו אנחנו בינוקה נגמר, גדלנו, עכשיו אנחנו גדולים. בוא. מותר בדיעבד, אבל אפילו אם אין שלישים בבשר, עד שמו בגדרה כמובן קליפה, כתב השח שאם אחר כך שבשלט הקדרה, הוא מכיר את החדרה שנעשה כדי קליפה, צריך לשלם לכם כנגד הקליפה בשמות כמו שנתבהר. והחלב מותר כולו, אבל פי שאין בו שישים כנגד כדי קליפה של הבשר. ואף שחם בתוך צוננו עושה כדי קליפה, היינו דווקא בדבר גוש שיכול לעשות קליפה. אבל בחלב לא שייך בו קליפה מותר, שלא יצריכו חכמים קליפה, אלא מצד חומרה לכתחילה. שבכל מקום שצריך כדי קליפה צריך שישים כנגדו, אלא שבדין תתאי גבר אינו אלא חומרה בעלמא. כמו אמרין מתחילה בגמרא, אין צריך קליפה, אלא חדשינן שמא בא למעט. לכן במקום שלא יכול להסיר כדי קליפה לא חששו חכמים לבליעה. It says, is this mandatory to remove a layer of the meat, or is it just a good thing to do? It's a mandatory thing or no? Hi, Liranjo. We missed you so much on Shabbat. Shabbat.
בדיעבד.
Was not the same. Was not the same. Hey, John, so that's it.
בדיעבד you missed him?
Hey, John, מה קורה בחול? בחול אבל פשמו יזברי לי. איי, איי, בחול.
רביי, רביי.
איי, איי, איי. מביום, מביום. Ephraim, tell him what he missed on this Shabbat. Tell him how many chidushim he missed. Tell him.
Yeah, we learned a lot. We learned a lot of topics. It was very good.
Boris, you here or no? Boris?
Huh?
It's telling you. What did you miss on Shabbat? It was a very important shiur on Shabbat.
Ja sam sobie włos uzierał.
Потом Рабби Йосеф запомнил.
Мне потом было
Yo.
Rabbi, which halacha?
We are almost alakha hey. Almost. Right now we're finishing Dalit. So it says what happens to a person that did not remove the layer of it. Let's say you went to Babulia. Babulia doesn't know laws. She spilled by mistake hot milk into cold meat. Shude. Ibi hot shed mura bovet mura. Hi, nobody saw, don't worry. Vayaf and kovakov, vayene and ish.
Mutar.
She took it быстро под водой. Помыла. She put it on the plate. Now you don't know which steak is the one that had milk on it, which one did not have milk on it. What do you do? Amir, Mata Omer.
Tasty.
Says Ravadia. Says the Oralach. This is only Chumra be'alma. Let's say Babulia took that piece of meat that she was planning on making palo with. She threw it inside the palo. Now, she says, you know what happened today? Today milk spilled on top of the meat. Hot milk. Hot milk spilled on top of the meat. What did you do after? I took the meat, I washed it off, I put it on the oshpolo. They asked Babulia, how big of the meat was? Your bobo likes a lot of meat, I put a big chunk.
60 times.
Now you're looking on the oshpalo, there is very little rice and carrots and big piece of meat. There is no 60 times that layer that it was supposed to be removed. What do you do with the palo?
Give it to grandpa.
Huh? Le'ilui nishmat.
Saba.
Can you feed the babo with this or no? Says Allah. This morning I saw a person. He brings his kids to Sunday program, the Hebrew school. Tell him. I told him the kids eat. He says, how do you like the kosher pizza? Some very, very weak statement. Kosher pizza. So I asked him, listen, you keep kosher at home? I asked him, you have mezuzah at home? He says, yeah, of course. I said, I'm very happy you bring your kids here to learn alphabet. Listen, you eat kosher at home? He says, no.
Oh.
I said, wow, unbelievable, look at this. I said, why? He said, I work with goyim, I do this, I do that. I said, you're weird, you have children, Chabad, why? Consider, at least at home. Outside, I understand it's challenging, you work with goyim. Start somewhere. What holds you back? All the yogurts that you feed your children with the non-kosher, we have it in kosher. All the pizzas you feed them non-kosher, you have it in kosher.
Everything's kosher.
A piece of meat that you once in a week, twice a week that you eat, you may make it kasher. What is it? We don't live in a place it's not available. It's available. So tell you the truth, you're right. I don't know. I just didn't think about it.
Seriously?
Yeah, it could be.
I'm telling you, kacha simple. I said, listen, consider it. You must do it, Gehenom, you're gonna burn. Think about it.
Because I need to know that part.
He said, I'll tell the truth, I'll think about it. I'll talk to my wife about it. Masha kacha. Simple statement. Don't be afraid. Say. Without scaring, without it. Mishamayim. Who knows? Slowly.
Yeah. Starts with the food.
Yeah. We're going to be, Be'ezat Hashem, improvement by them. Continuing. So now what do you do with this oshpalo? Bovo chorsode yone. Bechor. Munki chura yone. כאן ישנה. Very good. After he saw Avadia, everything מושנה, בלי עין הרע. Last week he didn't see Avadia, was הכל, רבי שמגד שמו, עם שמו קיצ'וע. זה דעת השולחן ערוך, זה גם אותם, אבל ריבה סובר שכל קליפה צריך 60 כנגדה, ואפילו בחלב שלא שייך בו קליפה, ולזה הסכימו התז, המשדות צהב, אבל רוב האחרונים הסכימו לחילוק של מגן אברהם. אוקיי, מדיח הבשר. Now this was your question, מנשה ג'ון, ואם נפלו זה לתוך זה צוננים. What happens whenever the milk is cold? The meat is also cold.
That's perfect.
חמש חונוק.
It's perfect zivug.
Perfect zivug. Yeah. What comes out from this zivug? Everything kosher. Just wash off the meat from the milk, and everything else is kosher. Huh?
What if it's both hot?
Everything is so unless you have 60 times in the milk times the piece of meat that was attached with this when they're both hot. Whenever they're both cold, you have no problem. Ничего affect drugu нету. Doesn't affect anything.
Just to go back to when it's cold with hot.
Yeah?
How deep do you have to cut it? Do you have to go like...
When it's hot?
Yeah.
Very good question. Halacha says kede klipa. What is kede klipa means?
Yeah.
Thick enough that you will hold this side of the meat, of that slice, and the other side will still hold together. If it'll be very, very thin, when you'll hold it, it'll fall.
I see.
It has to be thick enough that you're going to hold that side, and the second side is going to be still intact with the other side of the piece of meat.
Well, this layer is also if it was cold meat that fell into hot milk.
No, because the bottom one wins. So the bottom one will cook the top fully.
So you do with the milk, there's no klipa to take off.
No, asu. You need 60 times because now cooking process is going. When the bottom one is hot, the bottom one will cook the cold meat. And whenever cooking process is going, it penetrates through the entire piece of meat, and the entire piece of meat gives full taste to all the milk that is in the pot.
That's it. They're hot.
Whenever the bottom one is hot.
So if milk is hot, meat is cold and falls in.
Right?
Milk is, if it's not 60, it's garbage.
Garbage, and the meat is also garbage. Because the meat got cooked by the bottom one. And we said whenever there is debate between cold and hot, which one wins? The bottom one wins. Remember?
So if the bottom is hot, doesn't matter, milk in the meat. So that
Whatever it is.
Milk is not good, right?
If it is,
good, no?
if the bottom one is hot, sure. Kaddish, Al Israel.
Doesn't matter which one, milk.
Right.
How hot?
Good question. Scalding hot.
Yeah, so let it no.
We said that's if you take it out of the freezer and you have a cold meat out of the freezer and hot palakas milk spilled on top of this frozen meat. What's the halacha?
Just push mutar.
Says halacha, everything is kasher. Why? But it's hot. We said hot on top of cold.
On ice.
You gotta take a slice out.
But on
Why over here you don't have to?
ice.
Says halacha, because by the time the debate between the hot meat, milk, and the frozen meat will go, all it's gonna do is just defrost the meat. It's not gonna penetrate to the meat. For penetration to happen, it has to get hot. The meat has to get hot. There is no penetration without heat. So because the amount of energy that the hot milk had to affect the meat was wasted to defrost the meat.
But then they all go in, no?
No, the show is halal stuff. It has to be scalding hot.
Okay.
You got cold, so.
But then you still have to slice it off, no?
No. When do you have to slice off? Whenever the bottom meat became hot because of the hot milk. But whenever it was frozen, it's not going to affect it to become hot meat.
Just defrost.
Just defrosting it. No problem.
Marazeniki,
Got
znači,
it?
rabaj, marazeniki može misno молочный ставить, mix everything together.
Exactly. Because even if it got spilled, not a problem. Very good question. Right now, summer is coming. Children like to make their own ice cream. You saw this new style? Healthy ice creams.
The best.
They make their own ice cream. Very good, by the way. They keep them busy. They're excited about what they did. They keep their creative ideas. And healthy.
Yeah.
My children made ice cream the last few weeks. What did they do? They took the ice cube, the ice cube thing. They made chai. They put, I told them sugar is not healthy. They put agave syrup. And then they spill that chai into the tray of the ice cubes. And every time they behave nice, they get a 1 cube from there. So keeps them busy, it's cheaper, it's healthier, and it keeps them creative also.
Rabbi, банана, сделайте так банана, поставьте в фризер, вот кайф. Банан.
Better? Okay?
Это healthy.
Yeah.
מה הברכה על זה? איזה ברכה אומרים על זה?
האדמה.
שהכל? על
Banana, האדמה.
פרוזן also?
Yeah, what's the difference? Continue. אתה איתנו? דבר אתה איתנו ונשמע. ואל לדבר איתנו אלוקים.
Which seif, Rabbi?
סעיף... I was planning אחרי מות, I have already somebody to read. I had to read the whole 2 פרשיות. אחרי מות, קדושים. איפה אתה?
Он тоже, видите?
מה?
Я не один.
Все. No, אני на שבתון פאפה. רונג'ו? הכל טוב? מליח. Когда Леви нету, Коэн стоит. Okay, следующий. מליח. מליח שאינו יכול לאכל מחמת מולכו. Now, what happens whenever the meat is very salty? Do you know, רבותיי, back in the day, how they used to maintain meat for a long time without a refrigerator? Salt. Salt used to be the way to preserve meat. Now, if the meat is so salty to the point you cannot eat it, and guess what happened? Dairy thing fell on top of cheese, milk, whatever you want to call it. Sourdough, the sour cream, upal. Says הלכה, מליח שאינו יכול לאכל מחמת מולכו, דהיינו כאין מליח שמולכים לקדרה. ושעה כדי מליחה לקדרה, כל זמן שלא ידיחו, מקרי אינו נאכל מחמת מולכו. Gemara says that there is such a concept in halacha called maliach keroteach. Something that is salty counts as it is hot. Where do we see that, Rabotai? Very practical. In America, it's very common. When you have ice roads outside, what does spill on top of it to melt the ice?
Salt.
So you see, salt has a power to melt. It has a power of heat. That's why maliach counts as roteach, as a heated thing. Because of that, says halacha. Let's see, אור ההלכה ט"ז. פירושה כן מליחה שמולכים את הבשר כדי להכשירו מדמו כדי שיוכל לבשלו בקדרה. If it is a little bit salty, just to taste it, like you take a piece of meat and you put a little salt to it.
Edible.
This doesn't count salty, Aaron. When does count salty? Only whenever you put so much salt to take out the blood out of it. How much salt you put?
A lot.
A lot.
No idea.
It says if this amount of salt is there,
I think so.
Kosher.
and it stayed for the amount of time to make melicha. Skолько времени надо мелиха сделать? How long it has to be? Says halacha. Very good. Yeah, you have good memory. 1 hour is the minhag. But what's the mandatory number? 18 minutes.
Oh, like matzah.
18 minutes. Like matzah. By the way, where do we know matzah has to be within 18 minutes? From the salting. Maran in Halachot salting says you're supposed to bake the matzah. You're supposed to salt the meat. Shli sha'ah minus 2 minutes. Shli sha'ah is third of an hour. Skолько будет?
20
20
minus 2.
Minus 2 minutes. Skолько будет? 18 minutes. That's where you know 18 minutes. Halachot belicha. So now the meat, in case a person is in a rush, let's say Erev Shabbat, happens. He didn't get a chance to make the whole thing. His wife tells him, listen, we need to make shtul namak now. I just was notified that I have extra guests. Chkunim. Now there is no time to put half an hour in water, 1 hour in salt, then wash it. It's all time consuming. We have half an hour before Shabbat. Says halacha, you're allowed to quickly wash it off without immersing it in water, and pour salt on it from both directions. Put it on a tray that it is leaking with either holes or in a slant, and 18 minutes is enough with the salt. Wash it off. Tamon. Kaddish al Israel. Kasher. So says halacha, if it stayed over there, the amount of time it takes to salt the meat,
18 minutes.
which is 18 minutes. היינו שיעור מיל, כמו שכתב האלה העיל, בסימן ס"ט, ושיעורו 18 דקות, וכתב השם אתה מחבר ספר ילד עם מוליח בשר להוציא דמו. אז תוך שיעור מליחה ורותח. After 18 minutes, it says, sorry, up to 18 minutes, it's hot. The blood is working out, coming out, causes the meat to get halachically hot. ולאחר ששעה שיעור מליחה, פסק כוח המלך מחמת שפלט כל הדם. After 18 minutes, it says the salt worked so much on the blood, the salt became weak. So depends when the milk touched the piece of meat. If it is after 18 minutes, there's no problem. It's not considered to be hot. Why? Because the salt power is dead. Murdegi. But if it is within 18 minutes, it's considered to be hot.
Let's say you don't know. You don't know how long the salt
Oh,
is on the...
good question. Let's see what
do you
happens in
assume?
ספק you say. אבל בשר שהורשע כבר והטעם הולכו שנית לקיום שאין המלך עושה שום פעולה. אז תוך שיעור מליחה לא עבירותיך ולאחר שיעור מליחה עבירותיך שהרי לא פסק כוח המלך שלא פלט כלום. It says what happens when a person already did make shtunamak one time. Now we put second time salt. Why you put second time salt? Not like the Bukharians do. Bo shtunamak no. That's not the reason. He puts the salt for preserve it, to make it longer, to last longer. It says now when the 18 minutes is, אזי תוך שיעור מליחה. Oh, this is important one. אזי תוך שיעור מליחה לא עבירותיך. לאחר שיעור מליחה עבירותיך. If you put the milk salt second time, within 18 minutes, it's not doing anything. So therefore, it's not considered to be hot. After 18 minutes, it will be considered as hot.
For how long?
It doesn't
Another
say.
18 minutes after?
Probably, but it doesn't say us. I can't believe it's going to be
didn't
there
catch it,
forever.
really. I didn't catch what?
So the first salting, because the blood is actually being worked out, is the salt is doing something.
Right.
So the first 18 minutes it draws it out, right? So the first 18 minutes it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
If the milk will fall right now, it's like it was cooked right now.
Mm-hmm.
But after 18 minutes, it's already dead. So like everything is cold.
Right.
But what happens whenever you put salt second time? And then the dairy fails. So now if it fell in the first 18 minutes,
Right.
you're good. Why? Because it's not doing anything. It's not withdrawing the blood. The blood was already withdrawn first time.
Mm-hmm.
But after 18 minutes, since now he is working on preserving that thing, it gets hot right now. For how long? It doesn't tell me the deadline. But after 18 minutes, it activates itself to become hot. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cold we're talking about?
Now, Rabotai, huh? Everything cold, just salted. A person left in the refrigerator or at the countertop. How long the meat could stay without a refrigerator? Who knows?
No idea.
3 days.
72 hours.
3 days.
And if,
3 days in room temperature.
With
Nothing's
salt?
gonna happen to it. No.
Bלי salt?
Blue salt,
ככה?
kaha. Ba'asher hu sham. 3 days, nothing gonna happen to it. The room temperature.
It's not gonna smell.
Bacteria? Really?
I don't know, bacteria, maybe FDA, all these things, but to the eye of a naked eye, it's not gonna see have any problem. Just kaha echshu. After 3 days, that's it. It dries out, and it starts develop bacteria more and more problems and more problems. That's why halakha says how long you have after you shechted the meat to make shtunamak? 72 hours. That's where the number came from. The Goyim say that also, 72 hours. It's very interesting. Yesterday I saw, somebody sent me a video, the Goyim say, when is the best age, not best, the age, the earliest age that the child becomes a man that he can reprocreate?
13.
13 years old. Ask the Goyim, Tshuva 13 years old. You guys celebrate 16, sweet 16, nachon? That should be bitter for you.
What they celebrate.
They have 15.
You have 15, yeah. Why 15, 16?
16.
There is no change in a man's body. Only whenever he becomes 13, there is a change in a man's body that his
Girls only. Not
private area becomes upgraded.
Today they don't talk about it. Today they don't talk about this at all.
girls.
Why?
Teach
When?
this.
When? At 13 years old. Why? Open Shulchan Aruch, the Jewish one. Even Ezer says the best age to get married, 13 years old. Mitzvah min hamufchar.
We're kind of late.
Ben, what's his name? Baba Sali.
At 13?
13. 14 got 14.
Wow.
14 years old already.
In
Ariad Mekudeshet Li. Baba Sali. Generation ago.
אבל הוא...
Tafshin Mendali, he passed away. We're right now,
At 14, he wasn't
83, he passed away in 44.
30.
About 40 years ago, he passed away. Yeah.
I was 5 when I was 14.
Rabotai, in order for your kids to be mature in the younger age, you gotta give them responsibilities.
מותר להיות אותה.
Duchtar. Diga. Stop Duchtar была тоже responsibility. Stop forgot, she has to have responsibilities. Рабай, мне легче эту испанцу заплатить $20, чтобы она убрала все. Оставь это, не надо. Дардис Анмишу, Дарконес. Too much argument's going to be right now, Rabbi. It's easier for me to call the Spanish guy to clean. That's it. To do that, that's it. No, John Dedesh.
Ricardo.
You have to raise the kids. Today the 10, Hamegi, 17 стали. Бемеги, 18 стали. Амхелионе, הנה, папа, уже дедушка стал.
40 лет прошло, Рав Овадия Христос.
Okay, let's Rabotai. Right now, today I was learning something and something very, very interesting came up. And I said, wow, such an interesting thing I have to share with my group in the night. And Bezat Hashem, we're going to get like this chizuk. I posted it on the group, so everybody has the page to share. This is the book of Rabbi Chafetz Chaim. Yeah. And he's talking about how a person should prepare himself for Matan Torah. Shavuot, Shavuot, правильно? Says the rabbi, it's with nekudot.
20 pages?
Yeah, we're going to start page by page. This is so strong, I enjoyed it very much. הנה, יש עוד תיקון כללי המיוחד לפגם לשון הרע. It says there is a way a person could fix his mouth. We just learned about Parashat Tazria Metzorah, how bad it is for a person to speak bad. נכון? The Rabbi Nachman Breslev says that all the curses come on a person. If you check in the entire Torah, there is no any other disease that the Torah talks about. What's the only disease the Torah talks about? Is there any parasha that talks about blood? I said heart failure.
No, it talks about
Kidney failure. Cancer alenu. Is there any other disease that the Torah talks of parasha about?
Yes,
hemorrhoids.
blindness, blind.
Hemorrhoids.
Blind. Yitzchak was blind.
Parasha, blind parasha.
No.
One disease that the Torah talks about.
A whole
Metzorah.
elaborates on it.
It says why? It says to tell you this is the beginning of all diseases. The beginning of all diseases start in Lashon Hara. Now I'm saying if we're coming to Rosh Shavuot and we did not, what is the power of Torah in our mouth? נכון? ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך. That's why I tell you all the time, Rabotai, come to shiur to listen to the mouth of the teacher with your own ears. If a person listens to recording, he's not fulfilling the mitzvah of shomea keoneh. Sometimes you have a rain outside. You tell your chavurta, are you coming? No, let's learn on the phone. You know what you just lost? You're going to learn with him 8 hours? 8 hours you lost of shomea keoneh. You know why? When you're talking through the phone, he listens, nachon, but there is no shomea keoneh. So all the credit of learning through the phone, you get lost. It gets lost. Why? Because whenever he's talking, you listen through the phone.
Klisheni.
Klisheni lo mevashel. Whenever you are talking, he's listening through the phone. Also lo mevashel. So either way, whenever you are talking, he's losing. Whenever he's talking, you are losing. One time a chavruta said, "Oh, I cannot come. We're gonna do it on the phone." I said, "No problem." But the next few hours, only I'm reading. Why? I told him because you're right now gonna lose all the Talmud Torah. Okay, I'm coming. So that's what Chafetz Chaim Rabotai is talking about. Very interesting. I didn't know that in the book Shmirat HaLashon, at the end of the book there is Sha'ar HaTorah. Very, very interesting. Sha'ar talks about how important it is for Jewish people to study Torah. I'm telling you, I prepared it for you. I got such a chizuk from it. I said I had to share with you before Shavuot, so we all get chizuk on this. Says the Rabbi, הנה יש עוד תיקון כללי המיוחד גם הלשון הרע. How can you fix bechor? The mistake of לשון הרע. Heal diseases. והוא לימוד התורה. By a person that is studying the Torah, either by talking the Torah or by listening from a live person talking the Torah, because the concept of shomea keoneh works. Whenever you hear, it sounds like as you say. But if you hear it through a recording on YouTube, through a recording on WhatsApp, through a recording of different things, it's not going to work as you are listening. You get information, but you don't get the mitzvah of v'dibarta bam, that you are talking with divrei Torah. That's it's so important to come in person always in Iran, like you coming by the love of Hashem every time to learn with us. Same thing, everybody else should make the effort to come every night in person to learn from a live teacher. כמו שאמרו מסכת ערכין, אמר רב חמא בר רבי חנינא, מה תקן טעם של מספרי לשון הרע? אם תלמיד חכם הוא, יעסוק בתורה. גמרא says מסכת ערכין, שלום. How can a person correct the mistake of לשון הרע? If he's able to study Torah, tell him to go and increase more time, more concentration on the study of the Torah. איזה דוכן נמצא הכסוס. שנאמר, מרפא לשון, עץ חיים, ואין עץ חיים, אלא תורה. רבותיי, this is the words of חפץ חיים. שנאמר, עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה. כמו מה שאמר הפסוק בלשון עץ חיים, משום דהמוות והחיים ביד הלשון. Beautiful. When a person picks up ספר תורה, וזאת התורה אשר שם משה, what do we say then? עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה, בתומכיה מאושר. This is the tree of life. The Torah is tree of life. So why do we call the Torah tree of life? It says because your Torah you use through your mouth, and your life on opposite your death depends on your mouth. That's why I say Etz Chaim v'Machzikim b'Ma she'amar Etz Chaim v'Shom de'Mavet v'Chaim b'Yad HaLashon. The power of Chas v'Shalom bringing death on a person or bringing success and life to a person depends on his mouth. Sometimes a person can go out on a date, Baruch Hashem, everything is good. He feels that that's it, that's the girl. He comes to the mother-in-law, he said one wrong word. All the success, all the life that he was planning already, I'm going to buy a house there, I'm going to move there, I'm going to do this. Why? One wrong word you said to the mother-in-law. You should think about this. When you talk to them, it's like you're walking on eggs, be careful. A person that is talking לשון הרע, he buys himself death forever. Not only עולם הזה, שחמרוב, even by עולם הבא. ואכל וחי לעולם אחר. זרז את נפשו על כל פנים מקנאי בו להישמר מזה החטא. So after a person learned the Torah, he said, that's it, Rabbi, I corrected לשון הרע, נכון? No. I can talk now again. The night I'm going to go to Shiur Torah, it's going to be corrected. No. After you fixed it, one-way ticket, don't make a mistake again. כדרך האדם שהכניס בשגגה לפיו שם המוות, ועוסק ברפואות לזה. A person said, by mistake, ate something poisoned. He apart to the doctor, they put slungs in the stomach, make washing, everything in order to heal him. Is he going to say, last time I made it to the hospital. And then another time right now, second round. The hospital last time saved me. Yeah, the hospital were battling for your life. You're going to risk it and take it second time, and maybe this time you're not going to make it. באופן זה תועילו הרפואה לעבר, גם לימוד התורה הוא תקנה שלא יבוא לידי לשון הרע. Says חפץ חיים explains the Gemara in מסכת ערכין. Why תלמוד תורה is a correction to לשון הרע. Says, you know why? He says many times a person talking לשון הרע, he says, you know why? Because he has nothing else to talk about.
Boredom.
Shabbat צידית סטור. 12 o'clock, Shabbat ultra naturally. When is Suda Mincha? Rabbi Skazal, 7 o'clock. We have 7 hours right now. From 12 o'clock in the afternoon till 7 o'clock in the afternoon.
To burn.
What's there to do, Rabbi? So he's talking about beginning politics. From politics, the rules about the Boja that didn't give him the loan, and then the Boja's neighbor, and then you hear the whole time gossip, Lashon Hara, about one another. So he says, what's the reason the Talmud Torah is tikkun for Lashon Hara? Because when you're going to sit down on the table, you will be able to guide the table with interesting divrei Torah. Go to the next page. Go to page number 4 right now. ונמצא לפי זה. נוכל להבין כמה יש לנו להתחזק בלימוד התורה, הן מצד החיוב העצמי, כמו שנבהר אם ירצה להשם לקמן, והן מצד שינצל על ידי זה מכל חלקי הדיבורים האסורים. וכל שכן בזמננו, שבעוונותינו הרבים נתמוטט עמוד התורה, כמה יש לאדם להתאמץ. כמו שכתוב בירושלמי רבי שמעון בן יוחאי אומר, אם ראית דור שנתייאשו ידיהם מן התורה, עמוד והתחזק בה, ואתה נוטל שכר כולה. A person says, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, if you live in a generation that you see people are not coming to study Torah, Rabbi, there's 100,000 Bukharin people just in Queens, in New York, whatever it is, in America. Do we have 100,000 people that study every night Torah? No. 50,000, 10,000.
Maybe.
No.
In Queens, 10,000 people every night study Torah? What? Thank you, Hashem.
No, take away one seal. Yeah, 1,000.
Maybe 200.
All over Queens. Every single night. I'm not talking about why a guy comes, has to say Kaddish or sits for the shoe. Talking about people that come to study. Says Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, if you live in a generation that did not coming to study Torah every single night, you go and study Torah and you get the reward. כנגד כולם. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Rabotai, this is not like a Admor who said something Chassidut. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai in the Gemara is telling you, this is a ticket you come to Olam Haba, you say, Habibi, 100,000 Bukharians ma'et, the reward please. What? Here, וזאת התורה כתוב פה, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai promised me, if I come to study Torah in a generation that others don't study Torah, I get the credit that they were supposed to get. You understand this, Rabotai?
That's us, basically.
Yes, that's us. But if a person doesn't come to study Torah, or he comes, he's on his phone, he comes, he's sleeping, he's got, Habibi, you have to be like a tiger in the shoe. ונבאר במקצת את גודל החיוב האדם לתורה וגודל שכרו בעולם הזה ובעולם הבא. כי הנה ידוע בעצם לימוד התורה לבד מה שהלימוד מביא לידי מעשה ומצוות עשה דאורייתא. To study Torah, this is a מצוות עשה from the Torah. ולמדתם אותם ושמרתם לעשותם. You have to study the Torah and be able to fulfill the Torah. ואמרו רבותינו, אלו דברים שאדם אוכל מפירותיהם בעולם הזה, הקרן קיימת לו לעולם הבא. What's the last one? בתלמוד תורה כנגד כולם. You get rewarded in עולם הזה, and the principle of the percentage that you are making in עולם הזה, the principle stays for you in עולם הבא. הקרן קיימת לעולם הבא. אלו, let's see on the bottom A, בדרכי חפץ חיים הביא. בזיכרוני שהיה מוכיחני בימי נעוריי על ביטול תורה. He says the grandson, the son of Rav Chafetz Chaim, his name is Rab Aryeh Leib. Did you hear about him? Rab Aryeh Leib was the son of the Chafetz Chaim. He writes how his father, Chafetz Chaim, used to rebuke him when he was a teenager. אתה שומע teenager? When he was a teenager. הביא בזיכרוני שהיה מוכיחני. He used to come and he used to rebuke me, my father. בימי נעוריי על ביטול תורה. When I was a youngster, he says, my father gave me on the head. Don't be like these losers playing Nintendo, playing, how do you call this game right now? There's a retard game, Takoy. Huh? Night Fair, how do you call it? Fortnite. מכיר את זה Fortnite? הלך Fortnite. הלך, כל 4 נייטס הלך. בזכורני, you have to see how people play this game ככה. ככה, תביא לו $1,000,000, עבור מענם לא זז. ככה. move.
Brainwash.
ממש.
Reprogram.
Adults also play this?
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate story.
Yes, adults are going through treatments because they're addicted to these games.
כן,
Yes,
ממש.
100%.
Continuing, he says, listen. בזיכורני שהיה מוכיחנו בימי נעוריי, when a teenager, על ביטול תורה ושיחות שנהוג בימי הנעורים. He said there's a lot of laughter, there's a lot of waste of time when you're a teenager. Chafetz Chaim tells his son, don't be wasting your time, he says. When you're young, grab the Torah as much as you possible. וכשהייתי מתנצל לפניו שאין זה מן הנימוס לדחות רע, הוא מכיר שניגש אליו בבית המדרש לשוחח. He says, Abba, the child tells his father, Abba, what do you want me to do? My friends come to talk to me. What should I push them off? I'm learning Torah right now. I'm push them off. What do you want to do? I want to be nice. So I'm saying, okay, I'll let him talk. Listen what Chafetz Chaim tells him. תשובתו הייתה, האם ראית יום השוק שכל אחד טרוד במסחרו והחנויות מלאות אנשים קונים? Did you ever went to the market, says Chafetz Chaim to his son, and you saw the merchants over there, they're selling? Yeah? Right now, אם בא אל החנווני קרוב שלא ראו כמה זמנים. If right now the merchant is selling, he has a big business and goes on, and his cousin Kakoita came from somewhere. He is right now going to say, I'm sorry, listen, client, I'm sorry. My cousin, how are you? How you been? Yeah, how right now the guy is in a rush, he has to buy from you big things. What are you going to say? Business comes first.
Have a seat.
It says, אם בא אליכם ואני קרוב שלא ראו כמה זמנים, הוא שמח מאוד בפגישתו. האם יאריך אז בדיבורו? איתו בשעה שהקונים עומדים עליו ומחכים? Would he waste time with this relative that he didn't see for 10 years, for a long time? He's going to say quickly, hi, how are you? Quick, bam, 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 yep. Back to the business. Now, right now, you're Spanish people waiting for your instructions. How to put the roof, how to extend the basement. Mr. Boris, are you going to extend a whole conversation with your cousin when the Spanish is waiting, know what to do? Habla español. אמנם ידרוש בשלומו ויבקש מחילתו. He says, listen, I'm very happy to see you, but I'm so sorry, I have a whole business, a whole line of clients over here. נכון? He says שאי אפשר לא להאריך בדברים איתו בשעה זו. ומבקשו לברך כער לעת ערב, שהשוק מתרוקן. He says, what would he tell him? He says, listen, after I close at 6 o'clock. Come at 6 o'clock, we sit down, we talk, no problem. Right now is the business time. הוא מבקש לעת ערב, שהשוק מתרוקן, אז יקבל פניו ויאריך בשיחה איתו. He says, after the business time will finish, we'll talk. So he says, this is the mashal that Chafetz Chaim used to tell his children. He says, you already understand what's the allegory from this mashal. What do we learn from this mashal? That right now is the time to make the business of your olam haba. This is the time that you're in olam hazeh. And how much time goes between your fingers? Think about it, from 24 hours. How much time did you study Torah? ואית בירושלמי פרק א' דפאה שכל המצוות אינן שוות לדבר אחד מן התורה. From all the mitzvot together is not equal one thing of the study Torah. One thing. So whenever the shiur starts at 8:40, when everybody has to be here, Rabotai?
8:30.
Not to miss 1 minute. Not at 9, 9:10, 9:15. Rabbi, shtoy, nachzed, 9:30 comes. He has to be over here without missing 1 minute before the shiur starts. וכתיב כי לקח טוב נתתי לכם, תורתי אל תעזובו. והכוונה במה שאמר טוב, תורתי, ולפי מה שידוע שהדבר הוא החשוב בעיני עני, עד שנקרא אצלו בשם טוב, אין חשוב אצל מי שאינו עני. וכן דבר שהוא חשוב בעיניו, אין חשוב בעיני של גדול. ודבר חשוב בעיניו, אין חשוב בעיני המלך. וכן דבר שחשוב בעיניו כמו כבישת מדינה, אין חשוב בעיני המלאך. כידוע שיש מלאכים שמידתם כמה אלפים פרסאות, כמו שאמרו חז"ל בזה לחולין. ולזה בא הכתוב ואמר, כי לקח טוב נתתי לכם, ראו והתבוננו בגודל טובתה, עד שנקראת אצלי, אני בראתי את כל העולמות, וכולם כלא חשובים לפניי. ועל פי כן נקרא אצלי התורה בשם טוב, והיא חמדה גנוזה שהקדוש ברוך הוא משתעשע בה תמיד, כמו שכתוב והיא תורתי, על כן אל תעזובו. Look what he says here. It says if a person comes around to a poor person, what's important to a poor person? To have a night where to sleep, to have a place where to eat, nachon? That's what's important to him. He says if you ask him, listen, I want to make your day good today, make your wish. What is he going to ask? Please make sure tonight I have a comfortable place to sleep, I have a nice meal to eat, I'm good. You come to a richer person, you say, listen, I'm your genie today. Make a wish, I want to make your day tov, good. What is he going to ask? A richer person. Huh? He says he's going to ask for something. You want to pay my mortgage? Mortgage paid off, no problem. On a check, go. He said you come to a person that owns buildings. What are you going to ask him? To make his day good today? Huh? Cover my own mortgage of all buildings and make me buy more buildings. He says, what if you come to a king? It's a king, I'm your genie. Make a wish, I want to make your day good today. King! What is he going to say? Listen, this next day, next country bothers me. I want their gold, I want their neft, I want this, I want that. No problem. Mesh neft, gold, everything he gives it to them. So what if you come to Malach? Malach is interested in the whatever the king will be. Malach, not Melech, Malach. Is he going to be interested in the same thing the king will be interested? He says no. He says, what if you come to whoever is above the Malach? What if you come whoever is above all of them? Hashem, Borei Olam. What will be the precious thing for him? What would you imagine? I created everything, Hashem says. And I'm telling you, you know what? For me, the most important, the tov, the most tov for me? כי לקח טוב נתתי לכם תורתי אל תעזובו. Hashem says, I created the entire, I'm above the Melech, I'm above the Melachim, I'm above Melech Malchei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And I'm telling you, you know what's the most precious thing for me? The Torah. And I took such a precious thing and I gave it to you. Did you make sure to study the Torah 24/7? That's how important it is for us. Whenever the shiur starts 8:40, all of us have to be already over here. And whenever we have time to study other earlier shiurim, later shiurim, people think, Rabbi, 10 o'clock, say, Kaddish Al Yisrael, go sleep. You're on the dish. Until 12, 1 o'clock. What are you going to do? You have to think about it. How do I use my time wisely? That every single second I'm coming to Shavuot, I'm not just like a zombie counting. Today, so many days to the Omer, that's it. Numbers, weeks like this, Asvidani. I'm looking forward towards the day of Shavuot because I'm showing to Hashem how precious the Torah is for me. יהי רצון רבותיי, that we should avoid ביטול תורה, we should increase the amount of study the Torah, and בעזרת השם we should make all the tikkunim needed for our neshama, and we're going to be accepting the Torah with happiness, we're going to be remembering the Torah, we're going to be successful in studying the Torah. וכן יהי רצון, ונאמר אמן. רבי חנניה, don't forget ברכה.